Hi, I'm Michelle,
And I'm Terry.
and we are Widows Helping Widows. And today we have a very special guest with us. Her name is Denise, and she has been a part of our support group for,
Since 2014.
wow, so 11, almost 11 years.
Wow.
Right.
Wow, a long time. That's longer than I
Yeah.
thought it was.
I
So
know,
Time
right?
goes fast.
Time
It does,
goes fast.
It does go
Yes.
fast. So we wanted her to share her story first before we got into a little bit of a different subject today. So, Denise, would you mind telling us about your story?
I don't mind.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I was married to a wonderful Portuguese man named Joel. I met him in Portugal, and then we moved to Brazil. We lived in Brazil for 34 years. I'm a mother of 10 and almost 5 grandchildren. And we had a wonderful marriage. My husband was the most caring, loving husband, father that a person could ever meet. Anyhow, in 2009, he started having problems in his knees. He used to play soccer with the boys and run around a square every morning for like an hour, and he started having difficulty in his joints. So when he went to the first doctors, they said it was like rheumatoid arthritis, and they prescribed over-the-counter medicine, which did not help, and it just seemed to progress. And so it took a year of intense testing. This is the usual. It usually takes a year to be properly diagnosed as ALS or Lou Gehrig disease, which is very debilitating.
Yeah.
All the muscles in the body atrophy. Eventually, you can't walk, you can't breathe. It attacks the lungs, it attacks every muscle in your body. So when he was diagnosed, we had 4 sons living here in Dallas, and they said, you guys move here to Dallas from Brazil, and we'll help take care of you guys because Dad can't work anymore, and you need to take care of Dad. So we're like, okay. So when we got here, we went to Texas Neurology, and his diagnosis was confirmed, and the doctors gave him 3 to 5 years of life. And sadly, he only lasted 3 years. And it was, I think, one of the most difficult times, not only for him, but for me also, being his full-time caregiver. But, I learned a lot, and God gave me the grace and the strength for it. And so after he passed away, it was like I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to talk to people. I wanted to isolate myself, just like the majority of widows and widowers, right? Until I was encouraged by friends to go out and do something. And so I started taking dance lessons. For 3.5 years, I took dance lessons, and I started online dating.
How did that go?
Whoa. It's still going.
Okay.
Still going. Ongoing.
It's a process,
Yes.
you could say.
Yes.
And so I've dated a lot, all kinds of people on about 5 different dating sites I've tried, and it was a new experience for me because I hadn't dated in many years. And also, the online dating thing is just another world. You don't know who you're really talking to. Some of the pictures are fake. Their stories, their ages, everything seems to be different than what it's,
The truth.
yeah,
The truth.
quite different than the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so Joel passed in December of 2013. So I started online dating in 2015.
Okay.
And that went on and off, until 2018 when I met H. we'll call him H to be nice.
Okay.
Okay.
All
We'll
right,
call him.
H.
We'll call him H.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So I met H in May of 2018, and we had fun, loving dates and even weekend trips, and it was going great. To me, it was like, wow, it's going to be just like when I was with Joel.
Yeah.
So after 3 months, I was surprised he proposed. And I said yes. Foolishly, I said yes. Because I really didn't know him. He was from another state. I didn't know everything about his background or his family or even just about him, personality-wise, his character, his morals. I really didn't know what kind of person he was. So I said yes. And then 1 month later, we were married.
Wow.
That's fast.
That's fast.
yeah.
That's fast.
That's fast.
Yes, ladies, a little too fast. But I thought it was going to be wonderful, just like my marriage with Joel. I thought he was going to be loving and caring, and we were just going to live the rest of our lives together. But as soon as we were married and living together, everything changed. It was kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde situation. He kind of snapped, switched,
Wow.
was emotionally and verbally abusive, and he had some addictions that came to light. And I was kind of in denial about the red flags, you know. When they creep up slowly, you don't want to really believe,
Yeah.
you know, because it was like, well, I said yes, I chose this man, and
Right.
he chose me.
Right.
And, you know, we went to the church and we made our vows, and
We're going to
No.
live happy ever after.
Right.
That's what you're thinking.
yeah.
And
And
you've had it before.
exactly.
You know, you've had it before. So
Yeah.
And I thought, well, this has to work out. And so I was in denial. I let small things pass in the beginning. In hindsight, I see now I should have paid attention to every little red flag, because it grew into a really big red flag,
Yeah.
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I think he had mental issues too. And so I wanted to make it work. So I suggested to him, let's do the 16-week couples therapy at the church with the pastor who married us. And he agreed to do it, but he was not very good participant in the meetings. He kind of closed down. I was happy, you know,
Yeah.
to share and try to make progress. And
Because you wanted it to work.
I did. And
right.
I tried to encourage him to talk about it and see
Right.
what we can work out, you know. Okay, we have different opinions about things, or we see things differently, or we have different personalities, but where's the compromise? We have to
Right.
meet,
Yeah.
you know, in
Right.
the middle. But he was not willing. He was kind of wanting his way and his way only. And so after those 16 weeks did not work, he got worse.
Wow.
Things worsened to the point where actually I was afraid for my physical safety.
That's scary.
Yeah, it's very scary.
That's very scary.
That was. And so, thank God, I filed for divorce. And here's another thing. He did not want the divorce. He wanted to control me and manipulate me, and he did everything he could for me not to leave.
Yeah.
He pulled some fast ones on me. He even made me believe he had cancer, which he did not.
Wow.
Wow. That's
Yes.
very that's manipulative.
Yes.
Very
definitely.
manipulative. Yeah.
And he threatened to take his life,
Ooh.
which he knew would pull on my heartstrings
Yes.
because,
You're a good person.
Right. Right. Because you're a sweet person. You're a
Right.
very caring person.
and so he did everything he could, and I was tempted, but I knew, no, I can't go back to that. This is not what I want. If I'm feeling sad and crying every day, there's
Right.
something wrong.
Exactly.
This
Right.
is not how I want to live the rest of my life.
And you know what a great marriage look like.
Exactly.
Because you had that for so many
Right.
years
Yeah.
Exactly.
previously. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. But I should have taken a hint from my sons and daughters who did not really care for him when they first met him. But like I said, that was another red flag.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's good to know. Like, moving forward for other people that may be watching this video or thinking about getting married, if you have children or family members who do kind of put that red flag up and say, "Hey, I've got concerns,"
Please listen.
please listen. Yeah, because love is blind.
Exactly.
Love
True.
is very blind.
It
Oh,
is.
yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And and one of my friends said, Denise, you have to spend at least a year getting to know somebody through the 4 seasons to really get to know somebody, how they react through all the seasons of the year.
Different
before you-
situations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to see them in their good moments and their bad moments, how
that's
they
true.
react to adverse situations.
Yep.
Which I ignored also because I had seen him in an adverse situation and he did not have a good reaction. But I just thought, oh no, that's just,
Yeah.
you know, we'll get over that.
Sure.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
that's nothing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure, like I said before, it's so hard when you have such a good marriage the first time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you have these expectations in your head where, well, my second marriage, we love each other, we're going to get married, we're in this together. And then you get in there, like you said, he completely changed.
Right.
And so it's hard, I'm sure. They've said in polls and recent studies that the divorce rate amongst widows and widowers is higher than someone who's not
That's
a widow
true.
or widower.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why too. It's
I
because
think
you
so,
have these
too.
expectations of, especially in a really good marriage like you guys did.
Yeah.
Your expectations are really high,
Yes.
and then when you married H and things were
Not so good.
not so good, yeah, it makes it difficult.
Right. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Well, we're happy that you are out of that marriage
Yes.
now.
Yes. He fought it for a year, but he didn't want to sign papers. Every time he got the divorce papers sent to him, he would send them right back. He would not open them. When they were delivered to him, he would throw them away, would not open them. And so, I mean, I did everything I could. At the time, I had to figure things out. I went to the courthouse, to the law library, and finally there was this nice guy working in the law library, this nice young guy, and I asked specific questions about certain paperwork, which I couldn't figure out on my own. And he was kind enough to say, you do this, you do this.
Oh wow.
And I filled him out and I turned him in, and finally, after 1 year, the divorce came through.
Wow.
Wow.
That
Guardian
was,
angel
I was gonna
right
say,
there.
That was your angel in the
That
law
was your
library.
angel. Yeah. Definitely.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I had not heard you say that before.
Me either.
Yeah.
That's neat.
You
That's
learn
good.
something new every time.
You
right?
learn
Every
something
time.
new. Every time we get together, it's
Yeah,
something new
yeah.
about each other. So.
But like I told you before, if it hadn't happened with him, it would have happened with somebody else, because I really wanted to be married again.
Yeah.
I really missed that companionship and that love. And you can't get, put the blinders on just because you feel maybe desperate, you want to be with somebody. You just have to slow it down, take it slow.
Yeah.
So I chalk it up for experience. I would have probably done it with somebody else, maybe even worse. Maybe I wouldn't even be here today.
Well, don't say that. You would still be
Yeah,
here.
we're glad you said yes. Yes, we're glad you-
No.
we would have stepped in, I think.
Oh yeah, I think definitely.
Before that got to that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
But yeah. But it's hard, like you said, you just wanted to be married so badly, and I think a lot of us get to that point where it's like we just miss that companionship,
That companionship,
above all.
yes.
Right. Right.
And but you have to be just so careful.
Yes.
Because I know personally, I'd rather be happy and single
Yes.
than miserable and married.
That's exactly right.
Oh, so true.
That's
so
very
true.
true.
I know you feel the same way now too.
I do.
And you're at peace.
I'm at peace.
You're at
yes.
peace. Yeah.
Total peace.
And
That's
that means a lot.
It does.
And you're at peace.
It does. It means a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say, Denise?
Any other tidbits of advice for people, or maybe even people who are engaged right now and are maybe like starting to have some second thoughts?
Well, I suggest you weigh the pros and cons. Put it down on paper. Weigh the pros and cons. Take advice from your family and your friends. Let more people meet him.
Yes.
And, sound out the situation, because they could see something that you don't see because you're blindly in love,
Yeah,
like
that's
I
it.
was.
Right.
And
so
they
true.
could see something and listen to them. And pay attention to the little red flags,
Yes.
because they are there. They're always there.
And they don't go away. They, like you said, they get bigger.
They get
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah.
They get bigger.
And observe how your partner reacts to adverse situations.
It's good. You talked about counseling after you guys got married, and I know both times I got married, I did premarital counseling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be helpful too. That takes time to do as well. So
Yeah.
it kind of gives you a little more of a buffer time before you get married.
Right. But here's another thing we even mentioned when we were talking to the pastor before he married us. We even joked together and with the pastor saying, we don't need premarital because I was married before and he was married before. We know how this goes.
Wow.
Hindsight.
Hindsight is 20/20, as they
Always
say.
Okay.
20/20.
Yes. And another thing, I was H's third wife, and now he's on to his fourth.
Oh,
Wow.
So
Okay.
bless your heart, lady.
we pray
But-
for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the message to everyone is to take your time.
Yes.
And
Yes.
really get to know who you are going out with or who you are getting ready to marry.
Yeah.
Right.
I think also like meeting their friends. And
Definitely.
meeting their family too. Like, did you know any of his family or friends before you got married?
Well, I had met two of his sons and a daughter-in-law. We had brief meetings. And then here's another thing, that a red flag that I ignored. Even though I didn't know them very well, he had mentioned to me that his kids don't like him.
Oh, that's a big
Oh.
red flag.
That's
Yeah.
like a huge.
That's a
That's a huge.
Ooh, look, double red flag.
That's a red flag with streamers on the end.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's,
He didn't seem to like them very much either. So
oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
That's
Yeah.
really tough.
Yeah.
it sounds crazy. It's so crazy, but it's true.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
make this stuff up.
No.
No. Yeah. Reality is stranger than fiction for sure.
Yeah.
But well, we're glad you got out of it. You're happy now.
I
Yes.
am.
I'm happy back in the dating world.
I
Yes.
am with both eyes open this time.
Yes,
That's
and
good.
we have our eyes open around her and for her
Yes,
too.
we do.
No intention of getting married right away or anything like that. Yeah.
But looking
Yeah.
for a nice companion.
Yes,
Sure.
just a
For
nice
sure.
companion.
For
yeah.
sure.
Yes.
That's good.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Denise.
Yes, thank
you
you.
for
It's been a
having
pleasure.
me.
Yes.
Oh,
You're welcome.
pleasure's
You're
all
welcome.
mine.
Thank you for sharing
I
your
love you,
story.
ladies.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
All
We
of
love you
us.
right
we
back.
are like family now.
Yes.
We've had quite a few members who've been in our group, our support group, for many years.
Yes.
Like Denise, but we're more like family than we
Right.
are
Yeah.
friends. So, if you're looking for a support group and you live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you can find us on meetup.com. Our name is Widows Helping Widows. You can also find us on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook
Yes.
as well under Widows Helping Widows.
So we look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes.
If you want to meet us in person, we meet in the Frisco area. You can find all the information, as Michelle said, through Meetup twice a month. And we hope that you sign up for and subscribe to our Facebook.
Yeah, and if you have any questions for us, our email address is widowshelpingwidowstx@gmail.com. And we'd love to hear from you. Comment below on this video, whatever platform you're watching on this video on. We'd love to hear from you. What are your
Yes.
experiences, or do you have questions for us as well?
And we'll definitely get back to you.
Yes. Hope you have a great day, and thanks a lot for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.